myself, I thought I was going to tap into the whole RuPaul. Like my niece who's 16 took me to go see RuPaul's Work the World tour, and I'm like, I can't kind of quite get over this. Like my niece is taking me to go see like a drag queen show, right? And that to me showed like how far um that whole art form has come, right? And I thought for myself at the time, I thought, well, if I can write something that kind of plays like that was reflective of that, then maybe that would connect with a lot of teen readers who are watching the makeup tutorial videos on YouTube and everything else. So I mean, having said that, you can't go about something as a way of specifically appealing to any one reader, because as I said, readers will probably sniff out that inauthentic place as well. But certainly the celebration of drag culture as I see it now and becoming so much more mainstream than it ever has before was exciting for me and fun for me to explore that, because it is an art form about uh, freedom. Like it is an art form about defying gender and putting on those false eyelashes and going down the runway and just being as big as you can be. And to the point we were talking earlier about the Judy Garlands and the Chers and everything, like really that's what that's about. It's as being as big of a personality as you can possibly be. And so that really drew me in terms of the plot lines as well. It's just to sort of have a lot of fun with this character.
Yeah, I mean, I can't point to anything necessarily that inspired me in terms of plot. Although I was completely immersed in research. I did kind of a very long research phase before I started writing, but I was mostly looking at nonfiction, particularly about ACT UP, about activism. I was rereading, work from the time period, as well as, more recent reflections on the time period. And I think that informed a lot of the research that went into the storytelling. And I suppose again, it's not necessarily plot, but the kinds of gay books or movies that formed me along the way, I think helped me a lot, because anytime you read something that helps you see yourself and it feels vulnerable and raw, it helps you to hopefully be able to open those same, locks inside yourself. So whether it was, James Baldwin, who's my favorite writer, who I discovered as a teenager and, found his work so deeply moving and, I always turn to as an inspiration, or, a more recent YA novel like Aristotle and Dante, Discover the Secrets of the Universe, which when I read it, I was very, blown away just by the vulnerability on the page, the specificity, and, it has no plot similarities to my book, but it certainly was a book that inspired me to want to keep writing young adult fiction and to keep, breaking emotional boundaries in the genre and being as raw and real and authentic as possible. So, I mean, some of those come to mind, but yeah, like I said, there's so many in the authored note as well. I mean, so many movies as well. I mean, from, those classics that we discussed, but also, early films like Paris is Burning or Longtime Companion,
Mhm.
um, films that really, I mean, completely shaped the way I view the queer community, because they were my first exposure to the queer community before I could actually be a part of it. So Parting Glances is another one that comes to mind. I mean, there's a few that I saw very early. So yeah.